Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on the time you'll be seeing this, welcome to second edition of Campus Unfiltered. And I am your host. My name is Only Ivy Adora. We have two amazing guests in the house. They are going to be giving you the unfiltered truth about today's topic that says schools versus skill. And on my left, I have,
My name is Oniri Uchenna Prince.
and on my right,
John Kingsley.
all right, you're welcome to today's program. So today we have a very amazing topic that is going to be hitting differently. That is school and skill. It leaves me wondering, it leaves me thinking: is school better than skill? Is skill better than school? So, sir, please, what is your take? What do you think about it? How do you see, when they say school, is it better we go to school and leave, or is it better we actually go for the handwork and leave schooling? So, I want us to really talk about this. I want us to, let's tell us what you think about this issue that is affecting, it's really affecting the youth. It's really affecting us as individuals.
You asked a very important question. So I will be saying this from my own perspective, from my own opinion, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So when you talk about school, for me, school is just like a formal environment, a formal platform, a structured platform where you go to acquire knowledge, skills, not even skill, like knowledge is a theoretical skill, theoretical approach, and structured learning.
Okay.
Understand? I'm coming. So you go there, the main purpose of going to school, like in our country right now, is to go and get a degree, to go and what, get a certificate. Understand? Now, in this same country where we are right now, you know how it is here, that after graduating, spending years in school, spending, there are some high institutions that spend up to 4, 5, 6 years, depending on the course you are going into. Now, after doing all those, spending all these years, you still graduate and also serve during the NYSC. Now, after spending all these years, you find out that you will still start searching for job. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You start afresh and start looking for job. Now, when you go to the other aspect, which is skill, I want to explain these two scenarios. So I will now leave it to your hands to make your choice, the one you want to go. Now, skill, what is skill? If you talk about skill, to me, skill is an ability, the ability or expertise gained through practice, gained through training, gained through experience, years of experience. Now, what is the core value of getting all this practice, this skill? Is to enable you to perform tasks effectively. Do you get? The core purpose of acquiring a skill is to make you perform some certain tasks effectively. It could be a cooking, it could be plumbing, it could be whatever, any type of skill at all. Now, by so doing, if you acquire that skill as a student, because we are talking from student environment, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's important you get this skill. No, be it anything you find your hands to do, you do it. Any skill at all, you can do. It does not stop you from going to school.
So you're saying that the skill is important, and the education is actually so school and skill. They are both important. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Now, why do people still go to school and still go out there and start looking for, and you still go back to, going back to learning something. So secondly, what do this thing about school and skill, I want us to really understand it. If you've graduated, are you practicing what you studied in school?
Okay, I'm actually a graduate of public administration and I schooled here in Federal Polytechnic Oko. So I want to comment that actually what he said about school and skill are quite differentials. When you place them on the same level, you get that there are some that would be more equal than the other, but that doesn't put it that skill supersedes the evidentiary confirmation that needs you or that prompts you to become educated. Why I say this is that first thing first, your home from your house or from your parent house, it functions as a primary learning environment for you as a person. I mean, from when you were a child, your mom taught you how to do things. That is skill on its own. And what shaped that skill is the ability for you to learn. And what is learning, first of all? Learning is you being in an environment, an established environment that is conditioned with principles and institutions, and it pushes you forward to attain the very possible angle of you. Sometimes we always say that education is a social construct of poverty, but I disagree. I mean, the people that developed medicine now did so because medicine is actually something that has been saving lives. So somebody schooled out there, somebody gave their best out there so that you and I could have life today. Imagine if they ignored going to school and say that I could just go out there and learn how to do a mechanic. Today, there will be no doctors, there will be no lawyers, there will be no teachers. People that should impact on you, people that should teach you norms, people that should establish principles and practice that are practicable for you in the society. So while I will not agree totally with his assertion that skill should triumph or should trump education, I am of the opinion that education should breed skill. And again, from a perspective of what he said, that education is theoretical, while skill,
It's practical.
yeah, it's more like it's a practical something. It is methodological. Excuse you that I am saying this, in as much as your words are true, but I was reading something this morning about institutional approach to study of politics, also behavioral approach to study of politics, just approaches to the study of things and how they ought to be. So it struck me, there was a particular theory that was arguing of what should be, actually what ought to be, and there is another theory that was arguing of how to create an ideal state. Now, the essence of education is for you to know and you to change. Okay, that is what literature is even doing. The ability to change the undesirable and maintain the desirable. So you can't just say that education is a no is not equitable with skill. Skill would survive on education, but education will survive on its own without skill.
So, Mr. Kingsley, I am not trying to, I'm not trying to say you're wrong or you're correct. But what he said, he actually did not say that skill or education is not important. He didn't say education is not important.
But I didn't say
He
he
said
said it.
what he said was that education is important.
It's
But
important.
after going to school,
Mhm.
sir,
Yes,
You said-
you are correct.
I don't know, what did you study in school?
Okay, I studied business administration and management.
Business administration. But what are you doing currently?
I'm doing photography.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Now,
a
are you
photographer.
actually are you working in line what you studied?
I somehow.
No, let's be factual.
Okay.
Let's be factual. Are
By
you
profession, right?
By profession, are you doing what? Are you actually
No,
working
no,
in that line?
no.
No, you're not working in that line. Now, you're working in a line of where you actually learned this thing, right?
Yes.
Now, from your own perspective, from your own angle, from your own experience, he's actually talking about from his own side, from his own point of view. Now,
Yes.
he actually studied business administration, and now he's doing photography. Now, for other people will say, I feel I graduated and I did law, but I'm a fashion designer.
Okay.
No, so how are you
Interesting.
going to place that?
Okay.
No, I'm
Okay.
not working.
I actually would. No, 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 no. I want to say something.
Let me ask
No,
you.
No, no. I want to say something
Okay, no.
before.
Sorry,
I
Wait,
want
let
to
me-
say
let me-
something
let me ask
before.
you this first,
Okay,
before-
Okay, okay,
hold
go on.
Go on.
Alright, what did you study?
I said earlier that I'm a graduate of public
Okay,
administration.
public admin. Then
Yes.
what are you doing currently?
Okay, before we go into context, I want to still
No,
reframe.
he said-
No, no, no.
I think you should answer his question
Okay,
first.
if we are to go by that,
Yes.
I am still not yet a public servant.
Okay.
Okay,
What-
because public administration entails you to be practical about public rules, public laws, and everything that has to do with
What are you
governance.
doing currently?
Okay, I am into designing of
You're
clothes
into
for men.
fashion.
I'm into fashion.
Okay.
All right,
Back
let
to the skill.
okay, wait a minute.
All right.
He said he studied business administration
Yeah.
and he's into photography. What is business administration, first of all?
Wait.
No, no, it's a question.
Listen now.
Don't
Wait,
waste. No,
wait.
no, no. You asked me a question and I was specific. Okay, so I need that same specificity from you. You asked that same question directly to me and I was able to provide you with facts. Okay, because I know as a public administrator, I can feel myself and work in anywhere. I can tell you that I'm a virtual assistant. Okay, because
Yeah.
that is what my qualifications enable me to do. Okay, I can also be a corporate administrative officer. I can be a business analyst because as someone that studied a public administration, I was taught the rudiments of governance and as well as business. So in your own shoes, I want you to enlighten me on the business you studied and how can you collaborate that with the skill
photography.
you are learning today.
Okay. When it comes to business administration and management, it has to do with management. Business has to do with planning, directing,
Okay,
organizing, and controlling,
okay,
staffing, and everything.
okay.
Now, collaborating or relating that to my photography business. That's why when you asked me that question initially, I said somehow, because in photography too, it has to do with planning.
Yeah.
It has to do with organizing. So all the aspects, all the branches of business administration, management still falls partly in the business I'm doing, the profession I'm doing
That
today.
means you're actually practicing what you studied.
Somehow, because
Saguchi, you're actually practicing what you studied.
listen, no, when you talk about photography is a profession on its own.
Okay.
Understand? Photography is very vast.
Is photography a business?
It's a course on its own.
But is photography a business?
It's a business too.
It's a business.
Yes,
right?
it's a business.
Okay. And it's also a skill.
It's a skill, and also so you can do the business of photography.
Okay.
Understand? So it's two different things. So applying the course I did in school enables me to function very well in the business aspect of photography.
Saguchi, sorry. No, before I go to Sir Kingsley, I want to ask you one question. You know, photography,
Yeah.
some people study it.
Yes.
Now, did you study photography?
No.
You did not study, you just learned it.
I learned photography 2015.
But in the course of learning it, are you not studying it?
Learning and studying is the same thing.
Actually, I think I have to say something
Please go
before it skipped my mind. Okay, we have not been able to disintegrate discipline and skill. Okay, because when you discuss discipline as your discipline, I mean what you studied in school and what you are practicing,
Yes.
the only thing that you should be able to use as a dichotomy is when you are when you've said or when it is that you study something like a professional disciplines like law, okay, medicines, okay, or even accounting. Okay, aside from these three disciplines, every other thing you studied in school, be it history, be it anatomy, anything at all, still boils down to training. And that training is what grants you and builds up to what is known as skills
Skill.
today.
Okay.
Okay, because you sometimes you take that skill is only acquired when you go through apprenticeship.
Yes.
Maybe when you submit yourself under somebody's tutelage, which actually you are doing in the institution. I want to also refrain to what he said, that education is empirical. Yeah, I believe that education is somewhat empirical because I believe of the fact that we need a theory that will grant us into a particular norm to push and attain the level of professionalism we want as an individual. Now, take for example somebody for like myself that studied public administration, and I am now learning how to sew male fabrics or male clothes. Do you think that somebody that studied fashion, I can beat that person when it comes to styling? Do you think I can beat them when it comes to costuming? Do you think I can beat them when it comes to color scheming or color matching? I can't, because that skill for them, it has been ingrained already. It has been thought both through practice, both through empirical, both through theories. They have built on that. But as for me, I am learning through procedures and processes. It is different. So that is why I so much believe that education is what should primarily push skill.
Okay.
Because he said he studied public administration
Business
and
administration.
sorry about that. He said he studied business administration, and from what I can see based on his statement so far, he's into business. And I tell you, somebody that learned business as an apprenticeship and him that studied it, if you put the two of them in a room and they are having conversation, you'll be able to tell which person will go faster than the other. The fact is, first, he knows how to manage money. He has learned from intra and interdisciplines, relations with businesses, and how he can transmarket his product to a global audience. Now, take it to somebody that just learned it. Maybe he paid some money and he was taught that maybe for 6 months or for a year. After that, he's now said to have attained freedom and he opens his own shop. The level of professionalism it will take him to attain will be somewhat measurable, or measurable rather, to that of somebody that has studied it already. So I believe that the problem we should be talking about is what has not enabled us as people to fully develop the knowledge we have once or when we attain the institution of learning. And I said earlier before that parents function as primary teachers in their home.
Yeah.
They teach their children from when they are toddlers. I mean, from when they were still infants. Okay, because the brain that time is said to be in somewhat tabula rasa. So they teach their child or their word how to be respectful. That is also teaching. You can't take it away from that. All right. So growing into, they are then shaped to understand the principles. They are then shaped to understand what really happens within themselves and in society. That is also education. Okay.
Yeah.
So my point here is that why we should be saying that education should trump school, I am of the opinion that school should be what embarked or should give room to skill so that skill can shine.
Okay. Well, now we have a lot of youths, a lot of graduates out there that after school they don't actually make it. But you see somebody who just learned something and you see that person doing very well. So what is the problem?
Okay.
So what can you say to that aspect? Because I know of somebody who actually went to school and someone who did not even test the four walls of the university or even any education at all. But the person learned something. More like there's this popular trade that they normally learn. You say, "Oh, I'm going maybe from the village to pick a boy." I say, "I'm going to the city to learn a trade, apprenticeship." Because but you have to be under somebody. You can be under spare parts. It can be any other trade.
Okay.
And you have someone who went to school, but that person is doing better than the person that went to school.
Okay. The problem is value system. when I talk about value, people mostly think it's about personality or characters or individualism, while those are also part of your integral self. But what I mean by value is the execution of the knowledge you are given. Education primes you with information. It gives you the data you need. It gives you accessibility. I mean, it is just like offering you every key you want to open up a lot of opportunities. But it is up to you as a person, as a boy, as a girl, to determine where a key should fit. It is up to you to know that I am best measurable when I am doing this. I was watching a particular video from of a particular lady I follow on TikTok, Tito the writer. Sorry, I'm mentioning your name, ma. Tito the preacher or the writer, something like that. And she was talking about Eve. And it said, according to what she said, that she was on the wrong side. That imagine when God laid some curses on all the people that committed that crime, but it was only when it got to Eve that her own curse carried a clause. So imagine if she was on the other side, the power she has emitted. Do you know what it takes to be able to converse with a serpent and also to be able to convince a man? Okay, so I am talking about this because of the value we have. If you know that you are somebody that has been trained in a particular discipline, and you know that this discipline is actually practicable, but not something that is somewhat sustainable within your environment, you have to shift. That is why in America you have something somebody said, I measure. I measure in this, I am transitioning, I am upgrading, I am this, I'm that. Yes. So whenever you think that this value that you are contributing to this society is somewhat not appreciated enough, okay, you shift. Because the problem with us is that we want an already made a system to work with us. We don't want to put in the work. That is why you see somebody that has graduated. After some time, don't get me wrong, after some time, they are still struggling with pounds and stuff. Not that they are not working hard, but the thing is, calculation is important. Okay, calculation is important, and the value is important. I myself, as an example, after I graduated from public administration, by the way, I graduated with distinction. So, but I didn't expect that it was enough. I have the value
So
already.
you saw that just going to school is not enough.
Yes, get
Okay.
the point. I saw that the value is there already. I have the value, but where should I place that value on as a person? I have to know where that value should be placed. So I started sourcing for other places that I can also channel the values I bring. That is why I chose to express it through making male fabrics.
Wow.
Okay, so that is the point I am making, that even when somebody that has not attained the institution, let's say a tertiary institution, is put together with somebody that has attained institution, and you can say that the person that has not attained is doing better and the other person is not doing better, the value system should be questioned. Okay,
That means there must still be a difference.
the difference is there, communication difference is there, intelligence difference is there. Okay, because they say that you can take a horse to the stream but you can't force the horse to drink water, right? So once you see somebody that is educated, first is their appearance, how they communicate. Forget all this rascal and forget all the criminalities we are seeing in society. But once you see an educated person, an educated man, the way he talks, the way he approaches you, it tells you already that he has value to bring to the table. That is it. So any person doing better than them is because the person has chosen to hide that value within himself. So until that value is given a room to shine, there is no going forward for the person.
In summary, in conclusion, what do you have to say about, because we are passing a message out there. You need to tell them, because you said something about skill, that about the, when you talked about the history, when you study history and other
Yeah.
courses like that. And no, there's a difference between this. There's zero between skill and skill. Yes, there's a
Exactly.
difference between skill
And skill, yeah, there's a
Now,
difference.
the difference, because when you said it, but I don't know if you can actually break it down so they will understand.
Okay.
Now, the skill and the skill. What are the difference? So Uche, please, what is the difference between skill and skill?
Difference between skill.
Skill and skill. What is the difference? You know, we have the skill and we have the skill. So what is the difference? Because I
Okay,
want us
this is a tricky question.
to
Maybe you're trying to get silver of it or something, but okay, yeah, I like the line. I like the line of questioning.
so
I
I
like.
think Sauti should go first.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay. When you talk about skill, just like saying that there are doctors and there are quack doctors. Understand? There
Okay.
are people who put in all their all when it comes to giving value, when it comes to expertise. Understand? And there are people that are just let a skill, let's just go and learn. Say they say once you graduate, just get a skill.
Learn handwork.
Learn handwork. You can just you can call this one handwork skill.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
There are people. So let me come this way. There are people that goes extra mile to be the best in whatever they are doing, putting in all their time, all their efforts, all the expertise, whatever it takes to bring that value. Now there are people that just feel like we are doing it because others are doing, and
Yes, members.
let's just go. And at the end, you will still find the difference, just like what my brother said there. When you see someone that is learned, by their manner of approach, how they represent themselves and how they interact with you, you will be able to tell the difference. So I think that's what I can just say.
All right. So circuitry,
Yeah.
difference between skill and skill.
This is just like he said, education is theoretical and skill is somewhat methodological, right? So, juxtaposing skill and skill, my line of thought is education is a skill, and skill on its own, it's a skill. Putting both of them on a platform is actually a skill on its own. For you to be able to decipher what a skill is, it shows you have a skill on your own, right? So, as an educated person, knowing what to do at the right time is a skill. And as an apprentice, learning what to do, the technical know-how, the fundamental approaches is a skill. It requires a grounded mastery. It requires performance, mastery, and consistent showing up with efficacy. So the bottom line is, which skill is superseding the other? Is it the educational skill? Because you,
Or
yes,
acquired
skill, because even the acquired skill, education is still an acquired skill because you are taught by people.
Thank you.
Okay, both are acquired skill, but the difference is one is practical, one is theoretical. Okay, so while you might be saying that the theoretical one is just somewhat beneath the practical one, I beg to disagree, because whenever you come into a tertiary institutions, they teach you the differences between this and they teach you the difference between this. They teach you the factors that could cause this and they teach you the factors that could not cause this. So you are exposed to a lot of reasons why this skill is like this, what makes these skills like this, why this skill is functioning and why it should not. It is also knowing what is applicable to every society and individual at every level. But skill on its own as something you learned, like just like you just learned it through a technical know-how, because if you are defining science, you say that it is a systematized body of rules and laws, right? But when you want to define art, you said it is it is application of technical know-how. So skill, when you are learning directly from somebody that is not an educated person, but they have some level of mastery, it is something that requires a technical know-how which deals with your level of intelligence. And if you are not the kind of person that is willing to submit, skill will not be also inculcated in you. So the basic place that skill are being formed and are being shaped is in the institution. An institution could also be any place. It
Yeah,
could,
yes.
it could be
Because
any
we also
place.
have fashion schools now.
Yes, institutions could also be any place.
Not be,
Yeah,
It
it
must
is.
not be where I'm going to study medicine,
No,
I'm going
no,
to
no.
do
It is
nursing.
not a defined. It is not a defined concept.
Yeah.
But however, when you're talking about institution that has to do with professionalism, that is where you are defining it based on the places they are studied. But when you talk about the skill that is outside the scope of jurisdiction of professionalism, let's say the people that learn mechanics on the roadside, those are skills which are sharpened by seasons. So the difference between the two is that one is empirical, and that empirical one is the one that was taught consciously. It was taught through conscious efforts. Okay, they teach you with a grand norm, just like when you are learning ABCD. You know that this A comes before B.
Yeah.
But if you are learning through somebody, let's say a mechanic, you might put B before A before you actually learn that the A comes before the B. That is why you see somebody staying for 6 years, 7 years, knowing how to do the same thing over and over again. Eventually, they are settled and they start their own hustle. They start to build connections, do this and do that. And they still require people, because businesses these days require people that are educated to run them. You see social media managers, they then engage in what we call SEO, which is search engine optimization. They try to engage in algorithm, what people are looking on the internet. They curate the content based on that and push it through the businesses that they are handling. You see, it requires educated person to do that. Even the people that are school dropouts somehow require business educated people, like an accountant, to manage their funds. When you go to bank to deposit money, to transfer money, if you don't know how to spell, you call somebody that is educated to help you, right? So that is it. So
School is important.
yeah, it's important in my own analysis.
School is
So
important.
whenever you are trying to juxtapose skill and skill, we should be able to disintegrate where each one should be obtained and the level of patience and mastery that is needed to push them forward.
That's amazing. Kisti Uche, thank you very much. You've given us the unfiltered truth that we needed to know, that school and skill are important. No one is super. Should I say, okay? Yeah, school is going to supersede, but both of them work hand in hand.
Yes.
They work hand in hand. From what Sarkisti has said, from what Uche said, we've understood that the both of them work hand in hand. You need school for skill to thrive. You need school, you need education. Without the formal knowledge, I don't know how you'll be able to inculcate that skill. I don't even know how you will understand what you're doing
Exactly.
without school, without the formal education. So you see, whatever we are doing, we all need education. We not need school. So you see this, most times when we come across topics like this, and we come across discussions like this, some persons will feel, oh, it's not really important. I know, some persons are comfortable with, oh, I think I don't need school. I need just let me just go and learn this handle. I'm okay.
Exactly.
But if you don't have that formal knowledge, how will you understand? Even in fashion, calculation,
calculation.
there is nothing you are doing that in painting too. I come up, okay, there's this guy I saw yesterday, and he's into painting. And he was telling me, he said, there's this design he did. He was like, you should see the calculation I did. I was like, So in painting, there's calculation.
They calculate colors.
I was like, how come? So you see,
Exactly.
even in that, because he actually did not learn it in school.
No.
He just acquired the knowledge.
He just picked it.
went to, he didn't even, actually, according to him, he said he studied it, like he saw it on YouTube. And if
Yeah.
he sees something, he'll just go to YouTube. Now, why are you going to YouTube?
You are learning.
To go and learn that thing. Now you see, we still need school.
That is why.
Still need
That is
education.
why I said that.
It is still the same thing.
That is my point.
It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. So I am speechless. I don't even know what to say.
No.
I don't know.
The problem is.
That's they will say, leave me at the altar.
No, it's not like that. The thing is that we, the youth, have formed something called habitual orientation for ourselves, and we've chosen to accept some social constructs to be the truth. because they will tell you that instead of wasting 4 years in the institution and still come back
And go and learn that
and
thing again.
so
It's
why
better.
don't I force and I focus on the 4 years and learn it and become master at it at the same time? While that is true, some elements of it are still false, because at the end of it, you still need the knowledge of students, the knowledge of people that are the apex to also function in that arena.
Yes, I would agree to that, because there is this lady that is her name is MJ Yummy Bites. MJ Yummy Bites. There's this program she's actually doing right now. Business, how to put your business out
Out
there,
there, okay.
how for, if you want it, you want to make
Visibility
more,
or something.
thank you, something like that. Now, coming to what you said, you don't want to go to school, you want to go and that 4 years,
Yes.
you want to go and learn.
Let me just wait.
Now, what about branding? You still go back and learn branding
The same thing
from somebody that went to
to
school.
school. The same thing he said. When he
Eh?
said when he said he studied business administration, the first thing that comes to my mind, you learn marketing already now. He learned marketing already. He learned
He's
marketing.
even doing what he studied.
He learned marketing
And he's
because
benefiting
his bro-
because he
his-
doesn't need someone to tell him how to run the business.
and again he knows colors. First thing first, he knows customer KPIs, right? He studied all his index, he studies the metrics. Even sometimes he might even have the list of people that are booking him for birthday shoots. Whenever it is approaching their birthday month, he would message them happy birthday in advance.
Oh yes.
Something like that.
That's
So
it.
for you to be able,
Business strategy.
yeah, okay, so it's marketing now. So
That's what we are
something
seeing.
like that something like that did not just occur to you naturally.
Yeah.
It is something that was impacted in you through professors, through institutions that has been designed to teach you solely that.
Wow.
So school is at the apex of everything. It is how you
Really at the
yes,
apex.
so it is how you choose the keys that was given to you. It is where you put the keys that determines the value you contribute and the skill that you developed as well.
There's this statement I saw. They said education is the key. What happens when the government
Change
changes
the
padlock?
actually they changed the padlock now.
So if they change the padlock, look for another key that will open the padlock. So I am
That's why it's important, in as much as we are all saying from our own views. It's also important if instead of like you don't just lay all your eggs in one basket, right? So if you are still in school, it's important to also get another skill, and while you are studying the
You
main
are
course
learning.
you are doing, find something else and be learning, training yourself on. It can be a digital skill, it can be any kind of skill. Understand that you have passion for
to back up
to back up the
your certificates that you're going
exactly,
to acquire.
degree.
Yeah.
So that in case they say if in case East did not go, was will go. But we all know the type of country we are.
Yes,
Ah.
it all boils down to our
Forget about
country.
all this English we are all speaking. Understand? These things still, when you come to practical, when you graduate, finish your NYSC, you will search for work. You will do like this. So it's important. Instead of waiting till you finish your education, finish your 4 years or 5 years in school, graduate, do your NYSC, making it 6 years, plus the strike and everything. Understand?
Mhm.
While you are entering your O level or your ND, find a skill that you have passion for and enroll. It must not just be doing it, be practicing it. By so doing, it has a lot of impact it's going to create even when after school. You can make money even from your department, from where you
Be your own
yes,
boss.
understand? You can
That's
be
true.
using it and be like get the necessary financial help instead of disturbing your parents every time. Send me money, send me money. Understand? Get some skill and be practicing it small from that same, even from your department alone. Sef, you there is a level of exposure is going to give you, and the visibility is going to give you from your department alone. Understand?
Exactly.
By so doing, even when you graduate, those people you finish from school, they are even going to be the contacts you are going to build from tomorrow. Do you understand?
Exactly.
So school is very important. Skill is very that you cannot equate them or look this one less or say this one is bigger than this one. Both of them are important because school is going to give you a level of, there is a level of exposure school is going to give you. Understand?
Yes.
Like I use myself as an example. When I was in school, I did, I studied, I learned photography. After finishing my photography, it was even a 6 months course. Immediately I finished my photography course, I gained admission 2016 in Okopoli. So right there from my first day in school, I started the photography with my departmental people.
Started implementing.
I started firing.
Wow.
Understand?
Okay.
You didn't even wait.
I didn't. No, I don't have to wait because I was the first person that to start up that business. So I was very popular from the first day. Everybody in my department, they knew me. 10, 10, 10, 10. From any birthday party they are doing from the school, they will book me. Any whatever. From there, even people that maybe their parents they will have something to do in their family, they will tell their parents, we have there's one of my classmates that is
That's
doing this
into
thing.
photography.
They will even help you and do the marketing for you. Understand?
Advertising.
Advertise your business for
Wow.
you, and you'll be getting some little money. Understand? So let me shock you. All the till I graduated is from photography that I made all the money that I used. I finished all my school, did all the every necessary financial this is from photography.
Wow.
It was still from my school, from my department, from my church, from my lodge, and every other department. I was very popular because you have to be doing marketing, advertising yourself, and once you are doing a good job, people will even help you and do the advertisement for you.
And you've actually given us another point.
You understand?
Not just having
Don't
the
just
skill.
rely on no, I'm sorry, don't just rely on your certificates. Don't just rely on certificates. If you are in this Nigeria, except you have your father is Tinubu.
Okay.
Except you have somebody up there.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
But if you don't have anybody, have plan B in case plan A did not work. You switch to plan B. Like our brother said, you switch.
You migrate.
Okay.
You migrate.
That is-
But you said something about not just having the skill, it's doing it well.
I think
Well,
I want to
doing it
comment
well.
on something before it skips my mind.
Okay.
You know, there is always these quotes from people, and it goes like this: the pen is mightier than the sword. Yes, and your education, I mean your skill as in technical fundamentals can only get you so far
Yes.
in life.
Yes.
But education would get you to places to dine with kings. And why am I saying this? You've seen people often regret not being educated enough. For example, the wife of our former president, Dami Patience, just acquired, I think it was a doctorate degree,
Yeah.
or I think something like that. She went back to school. Do you know what it means? So she would be able to sit the same places and receive the same degree of respect and honor
Others
are receiving. It is not just about the skill that is important. Yes, the skill is important. It can fetch you what you need. But what makes that skill to be elevated, to place that honor on you, to clothe you, is the honor that comes with your certificate. That is it. So when he said that when immediately he was admitted, he started pushing his business. What led to that consistency? First thing first, you might say it is the lack of funding, which I believe was primed in him from the foundation, all right? But what sustained the passion going forward was because education has told him, he has been informed that this system are made with laws and protocols, and somewhat they are not favorable to somebody of your nature. So you need to have something that would help you to combat any system that will be emerging forward. So he actually merged education and skill
Yes.
to become what he is today.
Yes.
And that is what we youth have failed to realize and or has failed to do. Somewhat we rely solely on our educational qualifications to get where we are. And I kid you not, the highest paid people in this country are not your fashion designers. The highest paid people in this country are not should I say are not your what technicians. Okay, they are artists. Your artists, those musicians. I mean, check all the musicians you know, they are graduates.
Of course.
Tiwa Savage just returned, I think it was yesterday, from an invitation from King Charles III himself. She was invited by the king, not as an entourage of our president. She was sent an invite. What got her some of those were her level of qualification, which has been trained into her, which she gained through not just the skill, but through qualifications as well. So a lot of people will think that it is only education that will get you to a particular point. While I agree that it is right, because while I was trying to make that point earlier was that SAPLAT, workers in SAPLAT are earning almost 5 to 10 million naira as an employee every month. A business owner, take or leave it, after gross expenses, after the increase in fuel hikes, everything, and every other thing that you have to do, take it, you are making, let's say, 2 to 5 million naira. It depends, I might be corrected, it depends on the kind of business you are doing. Okay,
That's true.
it depends on the business you're doing, but an average businessman makes 2 to 5 million naira, and an employee in SAPLAT, Zenith banks, that is regional managers or general managers, are making what, almost over 15 to 20 million naira. That is minus other allowances that are attached to the business. Your politicians, most of them are educated. Don't pay attention to the fact that they will come and present you with forged documents. No, there are some levels to some should I say some social strata that for you to be able to be appointed into such an office, you must present a qualifying degree. So it is not just skill that places you there, it is your expertise in your certificate that places you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sir Kingsley. Thank you very much, Sir Uche. Viewers out there, you've heard it all. You've heard it all. There's no more to add, there's no more to subtract. Skill is important. So choose wisely. Don't be like the foolish virgins. We have the wise virgins and the foolish ones. So we don't be like the foolish ones that will say, oh, school is not important. School is important. The both of them go hand in. You need school and you need skill. Okay? So whichever one you decide on, whichever one you want to go for, please make sure that you are making the right decision. Please and please, I want to thank our guests for today. You are amazing. Sir Kingsley, thank you very much. Sir Uche, thank you very much for your time. It's not easy to leave your business as a videographer and a photographer, because I know you do both of them, right? And also, Sir Kingsley, it's not easy to leave your business as well.
Oh, no.
You know, being a fashion designer.
Ah, you can see.
I can see it. So it's not easy to leave your business to, honor our invitation. I want to say thank you very much.
Okay.
And also, sponsors, I want to say thank you to 20 Studios. I want to say thank you very much. And also, Hotel, Mori Chris Hotel and Suites, Amokara, I want to say thank you very much. And also, our Key Point Concept, I want to say thank you very much for sponsoring us. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. I remain your host. Please, if you see this video, share, like, and comment. It is important. You don't know who you're helping by sharing this video. And also, your comments will also go a long way. Remain your humble host, Omudi Ivy Adora. See you next time. Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you very much.